All right. No, I just really wanna. I don't know how to project myself on this shit yet, man. I don't talk. I know I seem. I know I seem as if I type loud, but I don't. Um. So I'm trying to learn how to project my voice during this shit. But greetings and what up, dog? I go by the name of the vainglorious one, Uncle Vick. I'm here today to just talk about a couple of things, rant, I guess you could say, go on tangents, because I found that long form texting, it's a lot, and motherfuckers act like they don't know how to read anymore, and I guess the perception of large paragraphs is that you're angry about something, and I just long-winded. I had to figure out how to cut the meat and potatoes down when I be talking. I say a lot of unnecessary words and shit. I'm I guess a dramatic speaker. But with that being said, I'm gonna rant about a couple things that took place in the culture this week. Just a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe not that many, because I don't really care about this shit. Like, not personally invested. I don't know how we get there with a lot of things, but to each his own. I'm not here to judge anybody, and I'm not necessarily ridiculing anyone at the expense of another person's belittling. So if I'm ridiculing you, it's just about jokes, man. I ain't here to take none of this shit serious. But I want to start this shit out because I'm already almost 3 minutes in. I want to start this out first by giving my condolences and my prayers to the family of Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and George Floyd. Now, specifically in this Breonna Taylor verdict, I just really want to just give some well wishes, man, and just some words of encouragement to the family. And I just pray that that money that they were rewarded, I hope that it, in some way, it suffices. And it suffices with the quality of their lives, because they deserve some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? They deserve some sort of opportunity to be able to level the playing field for that family. And nothing, there's no monetary thing that you can give to them people to give them back what they lost. So 12 million, that's not even enough. That's not even nowhere near enough for these motherfuckers going to take that young woman's life and then just hit us with the old banana in the tailpipe and say, fuck y'all. Because that's what they doing at this point. Hey, I don't know. I don't want the right around my lips to be, we can get back serious. What was I saying? I don't think that ain't enough money. Ain't no money you could take on people going to take that woman's life and them coming up with some shit like wanton endangerment. And that's what I want to kind of wanted to say about this, to put a button on this, is that for people, I saw a lot of people saying that they were almost like let down, as if they expected something else from this system. When people are discussing the judicial system in America, they use words like flawed, broken, things that would imply that the system is working wrong. That's not the case. The system is a well-oiled machine working to perfection. This is how they want the system to work, man. Like, they wrote it this way. They created it to work this way so that they can kill our babies, kill our sisters, kill our brothers, kill anybody. Like, it was a way to, I don't know what aside that is, because I know genocide. Yeah, it's genocide. When they it's placed to facilitate the genocide of melanated people on American soil. That's that. So I wasn't expecting this system to give us any justice for this young woman's life. Anybody else that was, no judgment here. I'm sorry that you expected more. And with that being said, I'll just exit out of that because I don't like talking about that shit. I kind of been trying to stay quiet all year about speaking on some of these topics publicly, and there will be time for me to discuss LeBron beginning to walk away like he about to swing on somebody. He ain't about to fight nobody. I'm pretty sure there'll be more opportunity, unfortunately, to discuss a mere 3Ks. So, with that being said, man, rest in paradise to Breonna Taylor and condolences to anybody affected by this. And just to the people out there on the front lines and out there outside protesting and shit, looting, because I ain't knocking either way. If you feel like you got to tear this bitch up to make some noise, tear this bitch up. But I would prefer you not do it, especially not in our own communities. But just be careful out there, y'all. And with that being said, I guess before I can completely put a button on this Breonna Taylor situation or this verdict, like, that's another thing. Like, stop insulting our fucking intelligence. Wanton endangerment. Anyway, Charlie Barkley. Dog. Nigga, is you for real? Homie. Are you for real? You cannot be serious right now. Chuck. Okay, so before I address Charles Barkley, because I want to put this on the floor that every single, I guess, person that I'm going to talk about today, or that we all talk about, because everybody's on social media and we tweet about these things and we talk about them, and these are human beings with reproductive systems and organs and a heart and a brain and feelings and all this shit. So yeah, people should probably be less sensitive with their feelings about shit. Some shit is just jokes. But at the same time, these are real life people. Real events happening. So I would like to try to respect the humanity of the people whose names may come out of my mouth on this platform. I think that bloggers and podcasters, and I wouldn't necessarily consider myself any of those things, but just people that get in front of cameras and talk, I don't think that we factor in that these people that we are talking about, they're people, man. And the same way they're a me, because everybody's a me. Everybody a me, man. Everybody got a family. Everybody got a lot of different things. Like, consider that these are people we talking about. Yeah, they might have some more money, and they might, for whatever that's worth, because you don't know what nobody go through to get what they got. We spend too much time pocket watching and comparing ourselves to others and all of this shit to dehumanize them people and act like that just because we can't connect with them on a everyday basis and meet them people in person that we might not say something that's effective to them people. So I'm trying to be respectful of the people I mentioned and whatever situations they may be in while we're doing this, because a lot of people in the stratosphere of talking on cameras don't respect that, and that shit ain't cool. Now, back with that being said, Charles Barkley, motherfucker. I don't even want to call you nigga, because we still nigging as a term of endearment to some people. And I don't want this to be misconstrued with me having anything endearing to say about this motherfucker, Charlie Barkley. Now, what he did this week was took his dumb ass, was because he ain't dumb. That man ain't dumb. So I don't want to. He says a lot of dumb shit. So he took his ass on NBA on TNT and once again, this whole us speaking about people, us not being careful with our words when we speaking about people that we don't know. He went on TV and said that Breonna Taylor's murder wasn't comparable to. I'm sorry if I keep looking up Lost. I'm watching this Lakers game right now, and they're kicking Denver ass right now in the third quarter. But yeah, there you go. AD. You know what I'm saying? He went on TV and said that Breonna Taylor's murder wasn't comparable to George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery's because her boyfriend shot at the cops. So that gave cops all right to... She was basically a victim of circumstances because her boyfriend shot a cop. So, and he's saying that to say that if you follow the rules, the cops won't shoot you. That's what he sounded like a... That comment was all lives matter as fuck. I mean, to blatantly put it. There's a thing happening today where we feel like we have to be reactionary to everything. We have to have man, that woman's mother, and I don't know if her father's alive or I don't know how the situation with their family, but that woman's loved ones might have been watching, no more than likely, they probably was watching NBA that night, trying to escape the insanity of what has happened to their lives. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, I think Breonna Taylor, I don't know if she was a mother or not, but that lady got loved ones out here, man, and you on TV saying their loved one basically only right was to die in that situation because their boyfriend decided to defend themselves against unknown assailants. Because I don't give a fuck about them having a badge or a no-knock warrant or not. To the people in the house, those were unknown assailants. So what are you talking about, Charles Barkley? This is what I mean about being careful with what you say and words and all that shit, because the responsibility you have, especially as a black person on a major platform, is to not say anything counterproductive to what people are out here fighting for right now. And you didn't have millions a long motherfucking time. So even though you think somehow those millions won't get one of your kids popped or one of your loved ones put in that situation, your millions can't protect you from a Black Lives Matter killing. Because that's what they are. Like a person killing somebody, or a Black Lives Don't Matter killing. Because I don't want to put Black Lives Matter and what them motherfuckers doing to us in the same sentence, even though they're synonymous with each other. So it's just like, man, if you don't have, as far as, that's why I don't speak about certain things. This is why I didn't talk about a lot of this stuff during the year with George Floyd and all this stuff on social media, because everybody's platform, everybody isn't made to do that. Everybody plays a role in this. And you don't, if you play a role that's counterproductive, then you might as well not even play one. Shut the fuck up and let the people that's out here working do what they do. That's it. I don't even need to call Charles Barkley a bunch of coons and all that shit. We know what it is. And with that being said, hip hop. I guess this is hip hop now. I guess the love and hip hop part of hip hop is, man, trying to keep these motherfuckers dry, bro. I'm getting any whites. Big ass lips, man. It's hard to get juicy. I don't want to get a beard of Jerry curl and shit while I'm doing this. Tory Lanez Meg Thee Stallion. Ooh, these are some spooky waters right here. Yeah, man. Let me preface this with saying I have 4 beautiful daughters. And I would burn the ends of the earth to hunt down a little 5'2" motherfucker if he put a bullet in, or if he put bullet fragments in one of my daughter's feet if he fucking breathe on the wrong, like, you know. So I want to start this discussion by being very sensitive to the existence of my lady counterparts out here. And to say that black women, I hear y'all. And as a person raised by a ton of black women, my grandma had 22 kids, 2 boys, 20 girls. So I was raised by nothing but women, honestly. I have a soft spot for women. More specifically, what's that word? They ain't got a word. They ain't got a brethren word for sister. Sister. I don't know. But you know what I mean. For the women of my sisterhood, particularly. I empathize with our women because I've always been on the type of time of protect our women. And I know anybody who knows me personally, knows that. Anybody who doesn't and knows me from social media will probably look at me and say, you, of all people? Like, for some obvious reasons. Understandable. That is what it is. You got the right to feel how you want to feel. With that being said, though, for a long time, I used to, I think, not take into consideration how black women felt about their treatment by us, specifically. Because just being a young man and not having certain experience or having certain perspective from the experiences of a woman, sometimes it takes for you to raise a couple for you to start seeing the world through their eyes. I don't think that you can see it otherwise, honestly. Even with being raised by a bunch of them. Now, with that being said, because I don't want to start, people usually, you start with love, and I don't want to discredit what Meg Thee Stallion said in any of her videos or anything. I doubt this will get back to her anyway, because, who the fuck am I? I don't have an audience as of yet, and nobody that I even know may watch this video. So, it is what it is. Y'all wasn't there, man. You wasn't there. And I'm not saying that in defense of anything that Tory does, because let me clarify a couple of things. I'm not the biggest Tory fan. I'm not the biggest Meg fan. And I ain't gonna say most of y'all ain't, because they have huge fan bases. So to some degree, a lot of y'all have to be them. So I can understand the attachment to Meg from a lot of people that are fans of hers wanting to stand up for the person they support. I can understand a lot of the cats in the industry that feel like they drawing the line in the sand, whatever. I also understand the people that are fans of Tory's that say, yo, this nigga put an album out, I want to hear his side of the story, whatever. All of y'all been pressing for his side of the story for months anyway. I'm not sure if him doing it in album form was the best idea or not. I don't know. But I also know that his platform is his art form. And right now, he could have did a live video and just said, yo, this happened, that happened. And that's all that it would be the same outcome. His word versus hers, and his word versus hers, and okay, I'm doing too much. I'm trying to answer text messages and shit. His word versus hers, and that's all we would have had, the exact same outcome. Now, what I really want to address more so than anything, because I don't want to make this about Meg and Tory personally. I've heard a few podcasts from Tory earlier on. I started fucking with Tory around New Toronto, I think 1. And I haven't heard everything since, but if something drop, I hear it, I listen, whatever. I've been listening to Meg probably the last 2 or 3 projects, whatever. Like either one of them. This ain't about this ain't about my affinity or disdain for either one of them, because I don't have a personal attachment to them or the situation at hand. It's more about how people are reacting to it, because you motherfuckers don't know. Y'all don't have any insight to who is there, and maybe you do. Maybe you know some people. I know that you ain't gotta be famous to know some famous motherfuckers. I know some famous motherfuckers. So maybe you do, maybe you don't. But my thing is, if you wasn't there, oh y'all niggas losing, y'all trying to fight. You wasn't there. You wasn't there, dog. So this accusatory stance that everybody on social media is taking with this, y'all sound like insecure spouses. Y'all sound like a man or woman or whatever. Y'all sound like that bitter spouse in a relationship. It's like, I know you doing something. I know you talking to that bitch, or I know you. You know, you sound like one of them. And I seen a lot of degradation of each other over this topic on social media. I seen women say, I hate this gender. If you listen to that album, you a fuck boy like he a fuck boy, and you a bitch nigga. If you like some of them same people, y'all rock with R. Kelly all the way through the phases, bro. And that nigga was on tape. There's a lot of dudes out here playing cape for the coochie, for the likes on social media, like, he a bitch ass nigga, and he if you listen to him, you a bitch ass nigga too, cause we got characters and we can do this shit all day long, and that's what everybody doing on the telephone. I sound like my fucking grandma, bro. What year is this? That's all we doing is hurling insults at each other about something that none of us know anything about. And a lot of you niggas that just I get it. Like, because our history with women is so fucked up. And I do understand what they mean by black men ain't standing by us. Not only are we not standing by them, or we not been standing by them for so long, we perpetuated the oppression through our own abuse. We facilitating the very oppressor that we talk about, the shooting black men, that's disregarding our women and treating them like the lowest people on a totem pole on this planet, because no person on this earth is degraded more, is neglected more, is overlooked more than a black woman. And not only is that the case, but we perpetuate it by furthering the abuse shit through our music, through shit. For the all 90s and 2000s was bitches ain't shit, and we vibe to that shit, and a lot of the music is still that way. So I guess through not believing women. That's why I want to be perfectly clear when I say that I'm not discrediting Meg, or that I don't believe what she said. Because if you said it, you said it. But I'm not going to also act like if you said it, it's always, like I said, it's always 3 versions of anything. It's his version, her version, and the truth is in the middle of that somewhere. We don't know who, and at the end of the day, a person was shot. So we think, because we don't really know what happened that night. All of it looks crazy. All of it looks weird. And like I said, I want to be respectful of the people that was in it and just not even talk about that. So I'm going to stop talking in circles around that part of it. And it's more so about how people are reacting. So definite. How the fuck do you know? You weren't there. I understand you want to show your allegiance with who you want to show your allegiance with. But for you to just, I believe it. Yeah, he did that shit. How the fuck do you know? Or them bullets, them wasn't fragments. A bone can't shatter that way, or whatever people saying about how it couldn't have happened. You don't know. And there's this thing about like believing things or being definite. You don't have to take anybody's side. You don't have to definitively say anything. You can literally just watch the shit play out. You can do that. If you want to listen to the album and you was a big Tory fan, I'm not mad at you. If you curious, I'm not mad at you. If you jumping into it for the sensationalism factor of it, look at you a little funny, but I ain't mad at you, because if you ain't ever listened to a Tory Lanez album and you all of a sudden listening to Tory Lanez album yesterday because it's tied to Megan Thee Stallion and the situation, and whatever. A little questionable, but who am I to question you? Whatever. My thing about belief systems is this. You could not believe anything. People sit online all day long and argue about their belief over a God. I've seen people, and when I looked at yesterday, because I got friends on my timeline that are atheists. How the fuck you gonna not believe in God, but you just know in your mind, you just believe in your mind that Tory Lanez shot this girl, or whatever. Like, how do you have a definitive belief about some shit that you wasn't there for, but you don't believe in God? I've seen that. And they're like, you don't have to believe anything. You can watch this shit happen. You can sit back and watch this shit happen, and you can have whatever opinion you want to have, but every opinion isn't needed. We don't always need to. Shutting the fuck up is a thing, and it's okay to do so. Which is why I'm about to do so on this very topic, because I know I'm probably making someone angry right now, and like I said in the beginning of this shit, before you cancel me, fuck you. But I just was saying that to say that we don't always have to tear each other the fuck down, especially over a situation that is just so vague and we don't know so much. But I wish everybody the best, and everything doesn't have to be that. And if it's a legal matter, it's a legal matter. I seen they said Meg's producers talking about the ballistics match this, and this niggas on Twitter and Facebook co-signing that. The ballistics match the gun. How the fuck do you know this? Ain't that type of stuff public record? I mean, I'm pretty sure it probably isn't now with an open investigation happening. It's probably not open record now, but these are things that we can see at some point. So you can just wait. You don't have to. And even then, no matter what the verdict is decided or how this works out, you still never. The people that know are the people that know, and they were there that night. So, I just really want to see people tearing each other down less over stuff like this, because this is just the same thing. The same people that'll be talking about my brother, my sister, tomorrow when somebody gets shot by the police is arguing over Meg and Tory right now. And I don't want to, I wish this didn't have an attachment to centuries of the abuse of black women and it making its way into just how how that particular group of people has been treated since the beginning of time. I wish it wasn't like that, but I understand why it's like that. I understand why that's the parallel. You gotta pull that shit all the way back to us just not treating our women right for as long as it's existed. And I only say that because it's like me and my man's Mike, salute Mike, and Mike Gibbs was talking today. And like, he had a play on words. He said what's that nigga name again? Tory Lanez. If Tory Lanez would have shot Chance the Rapper, would nobody be going back to civil rights talking about segregation and years of abuse and oppression, and it just wouldn't be wouldn't be a black issue, even though it was two black men that shot. It would just be, hey, I keep forgetting that dude. Now, Tory Lane shot Chance the Rapper, and it would just be DJ Academics would be on his page telling us, so which one of you niggas are gonna do? What's gonna happen? It would be a world star moment, and people would be encouraging it more. And I went on a tangent. I guess that's the whole point of the rant. I went on a tangent about this shit, but man, I just want to see us do better as a whole, man. And I'm not, like I said, I don't want to discredit Meg. Women say some shit, believe them. But I know good and damn well through my experience, I don't even want to do that. Y'all know what happens, though. Y'all have seen it happen with men and women. People were just lying. And my last thing that I'm going to say on this topic is, we ain't going to never know the full story, because who in the fuck would tell the truth about a shooting occurring? I'll wait. You was involved with a shooting. Man, woman, girl, guy. Would you tell the truth? Didn't think so. But moving on from that, I did just want to say that I'm tired of the sensationalism in hip-hop and shit, man. I don't like that shit. I needed to cue in Chief Keef. If the shit I don't like, I need to cue that in, because like 5 or 6 or 12 albums came out this weekend. And all I've seen my timeline talk about is this fucking Tory album. Chicks Tape 7 or whatever Chicks Tape just came out. They didn't talk about it that much. New Toronto 4 came out. The boy put out 3 projects this year. He put out 3 projects. And the quarantine shit, hey, they balling. The quarantine and all this shit, like, the boy was doing numbers, and he was doing this shit pretty alright. And even then, at the height of his career, he's not being talked about as much as he is now. Obviously, we know why, because sensationalism and negative news will trump any well-doing any day. But my point is, dog, we talked about that shit, and a bunch of albums came out this weekend. Dope ones. And I see niggas always talking about how rap ain't this, or hip-hop ain't that, or music ain't good as it used to be. You motherfuckers are spending too much time talking about the Megan Thee Stallion Tory Lanez beef. That's crazy that I'm even talking about a guy and a girl beefing and somebody got shot. Like, it's crazy as hell to me. But, yeah, man. The fuck? We talking about that shit, and we not even talking about Spillage Village put an album out. Dom Kennedy put an album out. Public Enemy, where the old school hip hop heads put an album out. Mozzie put an album out. A$AP Ferg put an album out. All of these albums came out yesterday. Elzai put an album out. Sango put an album out yesterday. We just talking about Tory. But, you know, and the Spillage Village album is dope. For y'all who don't know what Spillage Village is, that's J. Cole, Dreamville Camp, Earth Gang, J.I.D., I think Mariba, my boy Matt, my boy Harris. Salute to them True North Views boys over there in Toronto. He would be more well versed in that music, and we gonna talk about some music and a couple things in BKC, Blank Canvas Creatives, Canvas with a K, for those who would like to enter a community on Facebook, a Facebook group where hip hop and art and podcasting and creativity is the focus. So just shouting them out, because there's just a lot of love over there. Respect the movement. It's pretty much artist development for people if they want to do their music or podcast or paint, or it's a good place to go develop yourself. But it's a lot of music that came out, and that's all he was talking about. And I'm not going to dive into it, because this isn't a music outlet, I guess, but it's going to be centered around a lot of musical things, as I am a self-proclaimed hip-hop connoisseur. So, yeah, it's going to be a place where we talk about a lot of that shit. And with that being said, before I get out of here, I did want to chime in on something I seen on Hip Hop DX yesterday with guy out of Detroit, Sada Baby, young Scuba Steve out there. Salute to this D. Anybody who knows me know that I'm an imported transplant. I'm currently in a different state, but I'm born and raised out in Detroit, Michigan. And so I like to specifically show love to that scene. That won't be an every week thing or a reoccurring thing. It's just about, I like to show love to all the regions in hip hop. All of them, man. I wanted to talk about Sada Baby because I saw him do an interview yesterday where he said he didn't particularly like the cypher on Detroit 2 on Big Sean's album. And if you hop on a song with 20 other niggas on there, when you hear it, I'm not mad at you having some discrepancies with the finished product. What he said was that he didn't hear it all, or he didn't finish it because there was people on the song that he didn't particularly care for, or that he had gripes with in the city. And understandable, everybody ain't friends. And if you know anything about Detroit or Detroit hip hop, we talk about Detroit versus everybody shit, but we've had entirely too many cases of it being Detroit versus Detroit. And that's why I have a problem with what he said yesterday. It isn't because he's wrong or he ain't got the right to say it. It's because, dog, don't do that. We just did that was a big look for the city. I was proud to see that. I was real proud to see that. And if you and T Grizzly ain't cool, or you and whoever ain't cool, dog, say that shit for cigar bars. Sit on with Unc. Sit on with Trick and y'all discuss that shit a certain way, or y'all peoples sit down. Or don't. But don't do that on no public fucking, too much of that. We need to unify. You see Atlanta, cities like Atlanta and Houston, they keep the bullshit in-house, man. We ain't gotta talk and all that, but when we go out here, let's put a united front up, especially for a city that's been killing each other. And I'm talking about in hip-hop, killing each other, fighting, all type of shit. So it would be dope to see all the different scenes, whether it be the battle rappers or the poetry guys or the conscious guys or the gangster guys or the dope. We can all put this shit together and make one Detroit movement, my nigga. That's a huge look for the city. So I wasn't mad at that man having an issue, but I just wish that he wouldn't took to a public platform to say that he doesn't see a day where the city of Detroit could link up and have some unity in our hip hop scene. That was the real toxic moment. And that shit is just counterproductive to the movement that Detroit artists is trying to put together, man. Don't do that shit on camera. That's all I'm saying. But off of that, I just want to say thank you to the people, whoever watches this. Before I get out of here, I want to drop a weekly, rotation, like a weekly regular, an album that has been in my rotation quite fluently in the last week or two or so, and this project that I'm I have a large affinity for is an album by a guy named Verb out of St. Louis. For those of you who watch battle rap or familiar with URL, King of the Dot, all the battle rap leagues and all that shit, ARP. Salute to everybody in the battle rap community. They would know Verb is a rapper and he does music. And he's another one that is putting that myth to rest that battle rappers don't make good music, because that's bullshit. He just put an album out, I want to say a few months ago or something like that. And it was a dope album, but I'm specifically speaking on an album titled Bliss that he dropped last year. This album that I heard when it first came out, I gave it some run for a minute, but it's one of the ones that I revisited in the last few months, and that's a dope album, man. A lot of gems, a lot of jewels, a lot of just that quotable music. IG captions, that shit that people like to caption their IG with. One of my favorite joints, feel good joint on there called Beautiful Creatures. I love that shit. This gets me upbeat. When I'm in a bad mood, makes me feel good. But Verb, Bliss, 2019, pretty solid fucking album. So if you never heard that, go check it out. I am the vainglorious Uncle Vick, and I want to tell people that before I exit, know your worth, know your value, and don't ever let nobody tell you you don't have a name, because you had a name from the day you was born. And on that note, I'm out of here. Vocal check. Let's see. In the middle of the day now, baby, I seem to think of moonlit. Okay. Oh shit. I might have to make the blooper, man. All right.